Good day. Welcome back to a chapter a day. Today is Sunday, July the 7th, and we will be reading Deuteronomy chapter 21. Wow, moving right along, we are still hearing Moses' words to the children of Israel before they go into the promised land, because he will not be going with them. And he's the last chapter we read, chapter 20, talked about the way that they were to trust in God when they go to battle, first of all. If anyone had any new houses, new land, new wives, or were faint of heart, fearful, that they should not go into battle. Very reasonable. Make peace with a city if they decide they don't want war with you, but they will become your tributaries, which means they'll be like paying you like a tax. And this is history, okay? They will be paying you a tax. But those that do not wish to make peace with you, you go to war with them, and you are supposed to kill all the males, but you can take the females and the children, except for those pagan cities, or those cities that God specifically named, the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites. He said those do not even think of mingling with anything among them, because they are an abomination, and they do abominable things. Rather, they will teach it to you, and you're going to sin against God. So you were supposed to annihilate everything in those cities. Okay. Moving right along, chapter 21. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who hath slain him, then thy elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take an heifer, which hath not been wrought with, and which hath not drawn in the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough valley, which is neither aired nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord thy God has chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So shalt thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head, and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers, that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, that thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Wow. Very straightforward instructions about things that would maybe occur in their cities and their towns occasionally or maybe frequently. Somebody is found dead, so they're supposed to measure the closest city, and the priests from that city are supposed to offer up a heifer for some sort of atonement for this slain man, because they don't know who slain him. So the blood will not be accounted on those people. If they have captives when they go to war and they see a desirous woman and they want her, then she should have a month to mourn her parents, and then she shall become the wife of whoever captured her. But if he's not pleased with her, he has to let her go but not sell her. He has to let her go free. Wow, so many interesting things. If a man has 2 wives and he hates one, when they say hate, he prefers one above the other, then the firstborn of the hated one, he is still the firstborn, and he must get the firstborn right. So he cannot put, and we will remember with Joseph and Jacob. Is it Jacob? Yes, Jacob, and he had his 12 sons, and he preferred Joseph, made Joseph the beautiful coat, and then all the brothers started to feel, well, they were already feeling how, because I'm sure they were seeing the preference of Joseph. Joseph was the son of the favored wife, which was Rachel. But Reuben was the rightful firstborn of Jacob. So, yeah, there was an example. He gave him the beautiful coat, but he was not the firstborn. He was the 11th son, truth be told. But here is saying, when it comes to inheritance, you cannot choose the preferred son. You have to give it to the firstborn son, whether it's from the wife you loved more or hated, whatever. If you have a rebellious son, and I don't know if this meant children all together, because Lord knows if this was today, there'd be a lot of stoning. If you have a rebellious son, you take him before the elders and say what's going on with him. He won't listen. He's just maybe hanging around. And this is not some sort of a little boy. This is a grown man acting the fool. Sometimes, I don't know. Is it the parents' fault? Sometimes not, but some people just never seem to grow up. He's still acting the fool as a grown man, drinking and eating and just carousing all over the place. He was going to be stoned to death because he was no use to anybody. And if you hang someone, their body needs to come down that same day. Remember, well, when we get to the New Testament, we will see when Jesus died, that's why they went to Herod, was it, to plead for Jesus's body, because that body needed to be off of the tree of that cross by the end of the day, not to mention it's coming into the Sabbath hour. So all of these things were things that they knew about before, but like I said, Moses is here to reiterate and remind them of all of these things. And I'm sure by and by they still forgot and did not adhere to a lot of those instructions. So that's it for today. We are finished with chapter 20. Was that 20 or 21? Let me just double check. That was chapter 21. And until our next reading, remember, faith comes by the hearing of God's word. Have a great day. Until.